This is Trukstuf, and today we're going to be showing you guys how to remove your EGR and your DLC. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out in the description dieselrcorp. They do have a promo code for you guys if you would like to get some discounts on some of their products. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so far so good.
Yep. Just getting stuff disconnected. There we go.
There's so many of these things on here, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Golly.
Okay. Yep, that happens.
That's fine.
Holy moly. I thought Dodger was bad about Christmas tree fasteners. Alright, now that we got this part out of the way, I'm going to get the boost tube separated from here. We got this spring clamp right here that you can just release and then slide the boost tube down. No, it's not quite that easy, but we're going to make it look like it is. Then after we get that, we'll move over to the other side. We got to get a coolant hose out of the way, some more wiring, and I don't think we're going to remove the intake elbow, the AC compressor, or the alternator at this time. We will find out for sure if we're going to do that or not. Then we got a few more sensors and stuff we got to disconnect up here before we get down to the EGR cooler, and yeah, we'll go from there.
This is the easy part, taking off all the heat shields. He already took the heat shield off for this top one, by the way, too. It is right here. So there's just three. Do you remember what sizes these were?
10 mil.
10 mils that hold that on.
There's 3 10 mils to hold this one on. We got that one out of the way.
Hey, I gotta put that back on there. You gotta be careful.
I know, I didn't dent it. The stuff isn't falling off of the truck today.
Yes.
Let's just put it that way. So now we can work on getting that up pipe and that up pipe out of the way, and that's going to clear up a little bit more stuff for the rest of this stuff.
Okay.
And this stuff is going to be more stuff. So we're going to get some stuff done.
Yeah, he's a big boy, huh?
A little bit.
Cool.
At least you hit the ground.
There it is. Let's see how dirty it is. Look at that. That's insane. All that junk goes into the truck. Wow. 22,000 miles, by the way, if we haven't said it. Already needs to be cleaned.
Okie dokie.
And by the way, you guys see this right here? The swivel. He was able to get those back bolts out, no problem. They weren't even seized up or anything. Did you spray them or anything with W? No? Nope. So yeah, with my truck being at 22,000 miles, everything's moving pretty quickly. And look at that soot buildup, my gosh.
Yeah. You look inside of that EGR and then you look inside of this intake right here and you're like, that is just ridiculous.
That's freaking crazy, my goodness.
Oh, of course. They do the same thing Dodge does.
What's that?
Non-ferrous metals for those bolts.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but...
Magnets don't work on them.
Oh, I see.
Come on. There we go. Good girl. Look at that.
That's insane. 22,000 stinking miles.
Yeah. Pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
Look at that.
We need to get those buggers out of there, and then that out of there. There's my tool. There's my tool. You see me taking real extra care on these because I don't want to break them. I kind of like to leave those intact as much as possible. So sometimes when you get into a issue like what we're having right here, you can grab a second trim tool and use the bottom one as something to pry against, just like that. That way you don't destroy those Christmas tree fasteners that help keep that from getting destroyed from vibration and all that other good stuff. Another one of these.
I mean, after you guys see how dirty, you know, this these pipes are. Wait till we pull these sensors. Those are the map.
T-map, yeah.
And I have 2 of them on here too.
Holy macaroni.
It's like DJ Khaled, right? Another one.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is gonna start undoing the intake manifold. There's 8 bolts in there. What size?
The 10 mil.
10 mil. You guys see the alternator? You still see the AC compressor back there. He has his magnet.
It's not even funner than we thought.
Oh no. There's one. 7 more to go.
Thank you.
You're
for that.
Sorry, dude. I'm buying the comments next time.
Oh, is that why they want you to take the AC compressor off?
Why?
That flange. Okay, so the problem we're having right now is the back flange on that's hitting the AC compressor. So we're gonna get this all off of here, get the belt released, and then get that AC compressor. Once you get the bolts undone, you gotta be very careful though, but these hoses are rubber. So we'll be able to literally pick up this AC compressor and set it right over here. But yeah, we got our work cut out for us more.
Josh just took off the belt tensioner. What size is that?
The tensioner
Yeah.
takes a 1/2 inch,
Oh, it takes a, okay.
but I used an adapter and a 3/8 ratchet
Okay.
so that I could get leverage.
Ah,
Because my 1/2 inch ratchet's this long and it's hitting the body framing over here and all that good stuff.
gotcha.
Okay, there's that. Where are you? 13s and 15s. It would help if I didn't try and hold all kinds of crap in my hand while I'm doing that. Please use you. Another 15, 16, or 15. Lovely.
there's 4 nuts on there.
Okay, here's something you guys are going to appreciate. You go back to when we install this Banks turbo inlet and we cut the stud off. It's a good thing we did, because now, again, I'm trying to do this without removing a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to try and leave the turbo inlet off, but because that stud is no longer on that AC compressor bolt, we'll be able to put just a wobble on it.
It's right down there too, Evan.
Right here.
Yep. So I guess the Banks upgrades came in handy on this. Can I see that bolt real quick there?
Not that one. You can look at that one.
So you guys see how GM left all this on here? I mean, why would they do that? We would never know. This makes life so much harder than it has to be. Too easy. What's wrong?
Alternator's gonna have to come, shows you inlet.
Alright, so hey, he tried. He tried to show it a better way, but yep, inlet has come out. An alternator. Crazy. What size are those for the inlet?
10.
10s.
Make sure you keep them bolts with that. Don't get
Okay.
them confused.
Yeah.
With a little bit more massaging, we're able to get it out without removing the alternator. We did have to remove the compressor, but yeah, it is what it is. We'll see about getting the rest of that if we still have to remove the alternator, or if we ended up just pulling it to get it out of our way. At this point, all the electrical connections are off of it, so it's just a couple bolts to pull the alternator out. But let's have a look inside of this. You can see how sooted up this whole intake is. So we'll end up pulling the sensors,
Clean them.
pulling off the throttle body there,
Okay.
and we'll run it through the tank and clean it out.
Cool.
All right, so there's the two map sensors, and as you can see, they are extremely dirty. And this is going to show proof to why you guys need to be buying the Banks map sensor brackets. It takes these out of the flow so that they don't get all dirtied up like this. They're still in the chamber, so they're still sensing pressure, but they're not in the direct flow of the EGR system. Now we're just going to go ahead and spray them off and clean them. Now make sure you get mass airflow sensor cleaner.
Don't use brake fluid?
Do not use brake clean at all. It'll destroy sensors in a heartbeat. Don't use a brush. Don't use all kinds of... You can give a little bit of a wipe with your rag, but don't stick a screwdriver down in there, and don't get Western with these. They need to be treated very gently. So we're going to get this soaked like this. We'll come back in a few and hit them again.
We did go ahead and drain the coolant here, just as an FYI. We're going to have to do this once you start undoing the lines for the coolant for the EGR. So just keep this in mind. I did buy some extra coolant, and I got some distilled water. So you just loosen this
heat shield,
right here. What size? 10?
10s, 3 of them.
All right. So 10.
And now I want to try and get this thing out of here. You know what? Alternator's got to come out.
The alternator's got to come out?
Yep.
Oh, man. We tried.
And so the reason why this standpipe is going to go away, and it attaches right there underneath the alternator. And you know what? I can get to it. Yeah, I can get to it. Our 10s and 10s. Let's get this one done.
Is it stuck on something?
Yep. Alright, so now that we've got the alternator out of the way, we can get this coolant out of the way, this coolant line out of the way. This is what feeds the EGR cooler with coolant so that it can do its job. So this is supply and this one's return right here. So I'll get this out of the way, and then we'll undo this clamp, get this hard line out of the way as well. The soft line right here, we're going to get it disconnected as well, and then we'll start removing this EGR valve, get the EGR cooler off, and we're going to pull that EGR valve as well so that we can show you how to clean that crap. Okay, now we're going to move on to removing that EGR cooler in just a second. Let's get this booger here removed from existence. All right.
Jeez.
Oh, it's up here.
There's so many of those.
Temperature sensors.
Yeah.
So, get that popped up. And it's got another little hootamajig down there and another hootamajig down there. And then that runs down through that hootamajig over there, and so on and so forth. So we'll get those hootamajiggers out of line and call that part done. I'm probably going to pop it out of here first, so yeah.
That's a coolant line, right?
Mm-hmm. Might have to get that cooler out before we can take those out. So
okay.
We'll hold off on that, but I want to get this separated from that down there. So that's come on, clamp, rotate. There we go. Good girl. Let's get that off there first.
You're just getting all the hoses off of that coolant line on that EGR cooler. Man, that's a good feeling. Look at all that coolant in there. Wow. Okay, you wanna...
One thing we want to watch on these coolers is because they tend to fail internally, and if you have unexplained coolant loss in your vehicle, whether it's a Cummins, whether it's a Chevy, Duramax, even your Power Strokes. So just because you're losing coolant and you're not seeing it on the ground doesn't mean that you're not leaking out of one of the coolers. Now, if you look inside your EGR side, it's a little bit sooted up. I mean, it's terrible that that's going right back through your engine, but what I'm specifically looking for is little white specks in here, which would indicate a cooler that is leaking antifreeze. Sometimes you'll see it crystallizing up down in the corners inside, but from what I can tell, we're not seeing anything on there. And it'll always be on the gravity side because of course gravity works. I mean, we all studied Newton's laws, right? Did we all pay attention? But no. Anyway, I don't see any indication of coolant intrusion coming from the EGR cooler. So what we're going to do is, we have this specific product. It's a EGR cooler cleaner, we will get the electronics unbolted from it, and then we'll fill up the exhaust side of the cooler, not the coolant side, but the exhaust side, with the EGR cleaner and let it soak for a while, and then we'll put it in the tank and wash it out. All right, let's have a look inside this bad boy. So we can see there's quite a bit of carbon in there, carbon and soot. Nothing major. It's not like built up and creating a blockage, but it does take up space and it creates turbulence when it builds up on the side of that thing. None of it's good for you. This is the lower EGR. Lower EGR valve. So you have lower EGR valve, upper EGR valve.
So they blessed us with 2 EGRs.
Yeah. Twice as many things to go wrong. So here in a minute we'll end up with the hoodamajigger there, the DOC off and out of the way, and we'll be able to get this underneath those covers. So we've got a clamp and a couple brackets to undo, and then we'll be able to get that out of the way for you, show you what we got.
Taking off the V-band clamp?
Yep. Sometimes these are nice and stuck on here for you. There we go. There's one side. You got like 3 segments on it that you have to get unstuck too, so it's not just take the bolt loose and you're good. And it can be kind of a bear to get under, and you can't just pry up on this part of the clamp because then you destroy that, and we need to reuse this clamp. So we just play around. Some people smack shit with a hammer, and hey, let's try that. There's a hammer right there.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
Yeah, I don't like that method. So a hammer didn't do near as good as I was hoping. So I just grabbed a different tool, and again, we're walking this thing all the way around. We've got then 3 segments broke loose. Now we need to get that third one down there to pop loose. There we go. Now, from here, you can take and get your nut all the way off, and then We'll spread that thing open so that it's totally out of the way. I don't want to damage it though, so actually I'm going to leave it right where it's sitting, and we'll massage it off when we pull that down pipe out. Okay.
You just pulled off those 2 bolts off of the down pipe. What sizes were those?
13 mil.
13 mils on that down pipe, guys.
Yeah, and we've got 2 more to get on that side of the bracket right there to get that retaining bracket out of our way.
Got you.
I just gotta find my 13.
Like this. There it is. There's the down pipe.
Okay, harness it all down.
Yep.
Okay.
There it is. See how they already bend this thing up too? It's all bent up. Let me show you guys something real quickly. Over here, this is from dieselrcorp. They wanted us to do a comparison showing you guys their products. And there she is. Now, the reason why this looks bigger is because the DLC is still up there. So this is going to connect right to the turbo, but that DLC is pretty much what would have to come off. So they just wanted us to show fitment and things like that. And that's what we're going to do real quickly. And then we're going to put everything back to stock. Just got the DLC unlocked.
Yep, so what we're going to do to get a little bit more room in here is I'm going to unbolt this side of the cab, passenger side, and I'm going to lift up the cab about 1 3/4 inches. And then that should give us enough room to get that out without removing the turbo. Again, I don't want to remove the turbo and start taking a risk of creating a leak, especially when you're this far deep into it. So that's what we're going to do.
Josh is taking out the cab bolts here. These are 21s, right?
Yep.
And there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on this side. So he's gonna lift it and get a little bit more leverage so we can get that DLC out so we can clean it.
Bolt up on that jack handle a little bit.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it. Nice. That was way easier than taking out the turbo.
See what I mean?
That was way easier. Why would you take out the turbo?
Because you're stupid. You can't even see through this thing.
Really? So is that black, huh?
Oh, that's substrate. You should be able to see through.
Wow.
But we cannot. So that's the inlet side. The outlet's pretty clean. I don't see any carbon tracking or nothing through it, but that's why we can't see daylight through it. Here, watch, let me show you this. Let's come over to here. I'll watch in here. You see light?
Nope.
I don't see no light.
No light at all.
I do.
You see light?
See like 4 or 6 squares right there in the middle?
Oh yeah, okay, yes.
So you can see the light, and now you'll see it move around.
Yeah, I see it now.
Right, so it's pretty clean.
Okay.
So not a problem with the DOC on this one. Now, there are companies out there that also specialize in cleaning DOCs, just like they do DPFs. Has to get run through a washer system that creates a lot of volume with a cleaning agent to clean all the stuff out from inside of it. So we're going to send this one out for cleaning and continue on with our inspection.
As far as your lines go for your EGR delete, We did have to make up a few, but there are kits on dieselrcorp's website where it gives you 3 of these lines for the coolant. So we did make up this one, and I believe this one came with the kit here. And then this one down below here, we actually did come up with. Now here's one of the blockoff plates here. The other one is right there. And I'll show you guys the other one below because that one's kind of buried as well. But all in all, the kit fit really well. So again, be sure to check out dieselrcorp's website if you'd like to get some of their products. So the plate down there does come with a gasket. And looks so far so good.
Yeah, that thing is gonna fit like a glove.
Just like a glove. Clean the mating surfaces. So there's the gasket for this block-off plate. Let's see how it fits.
Just like it's supposed to.
Perfect. You just reuse your same bolts, okay?
Yes.
I figure Josh to show you guys, you know, I walk away for like 2 seconds and he's like taking it off pipes. Like, what? How fast did you do that, dude? Like, what was it, 15 minutes?
Yeah, but you know, where we're sitting right now, it's pretty easy to get all of these out of there, so.
Got you.
Right now I'm just fitting up gaskets.
Okay.
Making
I mean,
sure we know which ones go with which pipe.
I mean, people don't really need up pipes, right?
Well, so when we're talking about the bulletproofing program on the Cummins, we're taking all of the known failure points and replacing them with good quality parts. Now let me show you on the factory one. Failure point on these is this flex joint right here. You can already see this one's turning blue and purple and gold and all kinds of other colors. That's because it gets hot. And then that is built in there so that there is a little bit of room for wiggle, right? So that it can expand and contract and theoretically not leak. Now, if we look at the new one, the area that they give us is much bigger and it flexes through the whole joint, not just on the first 2 or 3 ribs like that one. Plus with this one, there's less bends in it, it's straighter through here. And then the factory one, they actually crimp it down right here for God who knows why. There's plenty of room under there, so this is what we're going back together with.